Colombian radical left-wing candidate Gustavo Petro went to Spain, where he visited different left-wing leaders in order to establish different types of alliances ahead of an hypothetical presidency of the former guerrilla member. On this trip to Spain, he met with Barcelona left-wing mayor Ada Colau and members of the radical left-wing party Podemos. On the other hand, Gustavo Petro also met with members of the Spanish government's ruling party PSOE, P-S-O-E. Of course, this situation represented a massive controversy, not only in Colombia, but also in Spain. Given the fact that everyone knows that Petro is essentially a radical left-winger, and he always claimed pretty strong anti-colonialist statements. He always had some strong words against Spain. He's one of those types of politicians that still blames Spain for the different problems that Latin America is suffering. He still blames colonialism for the different problems that Latin America is suffering. So, of course, many people saw the extreme hypocrisy that Gustavo Petro, who also has been criticizing a lot of politicians that decide to travel to other countries to meet with different leaders, this was essentially a big contradiction. Many people in Colombia point out this huge contradiction of Petro, of deciding to travel to Spain and meet with these different left-wing leaders. On the other hand, if we're talking exclusively about Spain, this situation was extremely controversial. Extremely controversial because, I mean, it's not exactly a surprise that a radical left-wing politician such as Ada Colau or the radical left-wing party Podemos meet with Petro. That's not exactly a surprise. As a matter of fact, this is basically a pretty predictable situation considering the ideological similarity between these different parties. The thing is that the fact that the government's ruling party PSOE decided to meet with Petro only shows that this party is entering into a pretty radical path. Because we need to remember that the PSOE has always been the moderate center left-wing party of Spain. And the fact that this party decides to meet, to have a reunion with such a radical left-winger only shows the mutation that this party has been suffering basically and especially since the former presidency of José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero. Of course, the Spanish opposition parties, PP, Partido Popular, and Vox blast the PSOE for meeting with Gustavo Petro, considering that at least for Vox, which is known for being the radical right-wing party of Spain, Petro essentially represents the second rise of former Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez. The people of Vox believe that Petro is essentially another Hugo Chavez that could destroy Colombia. The only thing is, the clearest thing is on this whole situation that Petro is undeniably the favorite to win the next presidential elections in Colombia, and the fact that the PSOE decides to essentially to have a reunion with Petro only shows that at least in Spain, many people are starting to prepare for a Petro's presidency. Reporting from Medellín, Colombia, Luis Orozco, Newsweek.